So let me ask you something. Have you ever looked back at a painful situation and blamed yourself for it? Personally, with my ex and her cheating, I had always assumed that it was my fault, there was something wrong with me, but turns out that isn't quite the case. Hey, hi, how's it going everybody? Dr. Goat here once again with another Car Talks. So, like I say, for the longest time, the cheating that she did, the manipulation, the taking off at night and whatnot, all those negative things that she did, I always equated it back to an issue with me. My brain always went to, I did or didn't do this, and so this is what I get. But this reframing here is going to help you to see that these negative situations that you've been through in your life, almost always are not because of you. They're not directly tied to you and how you are as a person. As a young child, whatever happened, I'm not sure. I have always, equated people doing negative things to me as an issue with me. Like, it was never a thought of they've got something going on in their life and it's causing them to act this way. I always took everything personally, and that's been a big issue in my life, and especially with that last relationship. Like I say, that was any time that she would do something that I knew wasn't right, that I knew she shouldn't be, that I knew wasn't a healthy relationship, I always just equated it back to me. And when you are with a narcissist, they will help you to equate that it was your fault, which I think was a real big issue, as far as that she was justifying my messed up thoughts there that I've always had, that it was my fault. Okay? Now, I've always just had, that self-doubt, the low self-esteem, just negative thoughts in my head for whatever reason about myself. But Aaron Dowdy, I've mentioned him before, very, spiritual, motivational kind of guy. I am in a group of his, and I was watching back a live that he had done at a previous point, and he started mentioning reframing situations. And through listening to him explaining it, I, started to think about past situations that I had been in. A big one being the being cheated on there. And it made me realize that our thoughts, that people do these negative things to us, because of who we are, because of how we are, we're kind of being a little selfish there in accepting the responsibility for all that. Because the reality of it is that people do things based on who they are as a person, based on what they are going through in life, how they feel about themselves, their insecurities, or whatever kind of negative feelings they've got going on. Of course, there is that saying, hurt people hurt people. So that is a big part of the issues here, and the people treating other people poorly. So what reframing is when you take a situation that you've been in and change the way you look at it, change your perspective on the situation. You're not changing the facts of the situation, you're just changing how you look at it. You're changing the meaning that you are taking from that situation. So, like I say, with my situation there, my old belief was I wasn't good enough, so she cheated. And reframing that, obviously I can't, know exactly what her true feeling was about herself or her life and why she had to do this, but you could see it as she was insecure and looking for validation from somewhere else, and that's why she did it. Meaning, from there, that her actions had nothing to do with me. That's like, take for instance, driving here. If I was in a big city, stuck in traffic, I could look at the situation and be like, great, look at this. The world, everything, all these people are making me late to this thing that I'm going to. And in reframing it, you can look at it in a different way and be like, hey, this is more time to enjoy my music, listen to podcasts, or just think in general. Whatever it is, but the whole thing is to change the way you perceive it. Essentially, you are looking for the positive in the situation, and like I say, with other people, you're just coming to understand that it's not all about you. The negative things they do are not directly correlated to you or your value. So, how you can reframe things for yourself here. And this might take a little bit of deep actually looking into yourself and realizing the stories that you tell yourself. What is a belief about yourself that you've carried around because of a past negative experience? Like someone that was abandoned could think of themselves as being unlovable. So then from there, once again, you look at it from a different perspective. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Ask, what does this situation actually say about the other person? Take my instance, for example, as far as the cheating, the other perspective could be maybe they needed external validation. Maybe they feared commitment. Their actions, people's actions, are a direct reflection of their inner world, their inner self, how they feel about themselves, and the way that they perceive the world and their life in general. Once again, it's not always about you. These people with their negative actions, the negative things that they do, the negative things they say to you, a lot of the times it is about them, a reflection of them and how they feel about themselves, not about you. So once you realize that these people's actions weren't about you, this is the perfect time and the perfect place to stop blaming yourself, to stop feeling these certain ways about yourself. When you see that this situation, that this person made you think and believe that you were unlovable or unworthy, once you realize that it was really about them and the fact that they needed validation from more or other people, or they are insecure themselves, you can finally let go of those thoughts about yourself. And that's, frankly, for me, just recently learning about reframing. It's been very eye-opening, and it's been very helpful in the aspect of that it's freeing. Like, you don't have to carry around those negative thoughts that you've had about yourself because of this situation. When you look back at those negative situations and are like, wow, this whole time I've had this shitty thought about myself, when the reality of it was that this person was just hurt or insecure, and they were trying to project that on me. They were projecting that feeling, that emotion onto me. And so I don't need to hold on to it anymore. It's crazy. So I want to encourage you guys to take some time to look back at your life. And I know these negative situations you've been through can be hurtful and hard to look back at. But if you can take the time to start looking back at them one by one and really analyzing the situation and look at it from a different perspective, I think it'll be very freeing in the fact that you'll see that it was never truly about you in the first place. It was about this other person and the way that they feel about themselves. So, anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know of a past situation that you've been through, how it made you feel, and how, after reframing, how you were able to let that feeling go. And as always, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.